dude, I thought I was gonna blaze through like 3 weeks worth of stuff before our call, and this took me like 3 or 4 hours just to get through these things. I couldn't believe how. Um, I was like, I'm gonna press chase and get through like 3 weeks of this thing, but it was way more extensive than I thought, which is great.
Good.
So I think the most effective thing would be to take a quick look at my ad account and just see if there's anything. Well, I am going
Yes.
through the course. I'm gonna try to knock it out. I mean, probably do like a week a day type thing, just because I want to be able to. I've already spent probably 15 grand, like on this business,
Sure.
and it'll do like 1.7 to 2x type thing, but it's still not that much profit for me. Like it's been sitting around like $20 per 20, anything above 25, I'm losing money. So I'm literally only making like $4 per sale here. And so I want to get this down to like 10 or 15. And I do have some that'll occasionally do that and will be sitting around like $7 to $10 type of thing.
Hmm.
So what I was about to, one other thing is I have 2 pixels in here because a friend of mine that was helping me, he was selling fitness trackers as well, which is all I sell in here. And then he gave me his pixel or shared it with me. And just when he shut down his business. So, and it's actually been performing well. So what I had set up was basically like 5 different percentages for like purchases, add to carts, initiate contact, initiate checkout, payment info. Yeah, so basically those 5 different things. I made 5 different. I wasn't sure if you did this, and I know I'll get to it more in the course. I'm basically trying to figure out, and I just tested these yesterday just to see how they did.
I'm
At
doing
a
great.
real low number. But I was curious if I should turn these on and run them, or if you think I should wait a few days and get through as much of the course as I can.
No, roll with these.
Okay,
These
so
are
this is
fine
okay. So the
because they're
only
working here, and you want to keep going with it because if it's working, it's working.
okay, cool. I literally just turned these on yesterday, so I don't. The main thing I wanted to test. Okay, so I have 2 questions. One is I saw on. Sorry, let me know if you still there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna switch to computer audio. Sorry, I have headphones and they're dying. Hold on 5 seconds.
Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Cool. So I remember seeing in that preset video, I've watched a few of your videos, but that one I've watched more, that it was like 30-day lookalike of view content, 30-day of basically like 5 or 6 different custom audiences. So I hadn't seen this, but I had a friend teach me this way, and he does like 1 through 10%, but I figured 1 through 5 would at least give it a fair shot. Do you do this method as well, or do you only do like the 30-day look?
Sure do. Yeah. I mean, we do like, there's a lot of audiences you can do, right? It's really just based off what data you have access to. And in this case, I mean, what you have here is good. I would go with this.
So I only have 1 ad in here because I have 1 ad out of like the 5 that have been performing well. And then the rest of them haven't been performing that great. And so I know you're all about like thousands of ads at a time.
Leave these. Leave these.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's no, I always go for the thing that gets the best results. And if it's working, it's working. Don't change it. These 2 things are working. So what I do is like after a few days, make sure like wait for 7 days, see if these continue to get purchases and hold up the ROAS. And if so, start scaling these 2. Go to 20 on each and then go to 40 on each. And if they continue to scale, then that's awesome.
Okay, so you increase them that quickly, huh? Like actually double them?
After 7 days, yeah, start doubling.
Okay, and that's the rule. Your rule of thumb, as far as it's not the whole 20% or 10%.
No, 20% is always the rule. 20% is without a doubt always the rule. But when you're doing it from $10 daily, you would take too long to get up there. So you first have to double like early on, and then you can start doing the 20. Because like do 20% of $10. You're going to go to 12. What's that going to do?
So how long do you stay at that double every 7 days rule?
Anytime until above 25. Anything above 25, start switching to the 20%.
Okay. 7 days until 25. And then how often do you go up 20% if it's performing?
every 48 hours if it's holding. And then as soon as I hit a moment of diminished return where I start to see it go backwards and purchases are going down, ROAS is going down, cost per purchase is going up, I scale back.
Right.
I scale backwards until I find the point to where the results are balanced.
Gotcha. And
It
that's
doesn't mean it's
within
dying. It doesn't mean the creative is dying. It doesn't mean the audience is dying. It means it's overspending on the audience, which is forcing it to
For sure.
spike.
So if the numbers drop like within a 24 or 48 hour period, that's when you drop it back to the previous number?
Correct.
Okay.
Not 24 after 48 hours. 24 is too early. Sometimes it'll always drop. Even in a 3-day, it could, honestly. But I mean, if it's like something that's sustainably staying down or like getting worse, like very obviously, then it's like we need to scale backwards.
Okay.
So you might get all the way up to 100 and then all of a sudden it start performing bad. You go back to 80 and all of a sudden it's great. And then you just stay at 80. It means that audience can handle it 80 daily.
So then you just go back 20% basically, huh?
Mm-hmm. You just keep going back until it gets better again. And then you stay at that number and don't touch it ever again.
So sometimes you have to go back more than once?
Sometimes, yeah.
Got it. Until it holds. And then you just know that's your cap for that ad set, huh?
Exactly.
Interesting.
And once you have that cap on one and it's working, you have a cap on another one and it's working, then you combine them. And then now you can scale up even more and continue that process.
Okay, so once you have multiple ad sets that are working, you combine them in a new ad set?
Yep. That's right.
Do you keep the original ones running?
No, turn them off.
Really? Okay, so once you have multiple ad sets that are running, you combine them in like, so you combine the interest or what are you combining? Or just combining the two ad sets in a CBO campaign?
That are running with a good return on ad spend. So like if you have 5 of them that are producing like 10 purchases per week, all at 3x plus, then like that's a scenario where you combine them, exit learning, and you can continue to go with the scaling of that because the audience size is going to go way up and you don't have to worry about overlap or anything.
Okay, so once you have multiple ad sets that are performing, you combine them into one campaign. Goes it into one ad set?
One ad set and one campaign.
So is that a CBO campaign at that point?
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really mean a difference between CBO or ABO because they're the same thing. It's just one.
For sure. I mean, and if I'm only running one ad, then it shouldn't matter anyway, right? It's basically the same.
Not at all. Yeah, it's all the same at that point.
Yeah, okay.
Not much to control. You just let it roll.
CBO. So, I mean, do you ever combine like a lookalike audience combined with other interest or no?
No. Nope. Only combine lookalikes, only combine interest.
But you'll combine multiple lookalikes, huh? Like,
yep. Only if they're winning. I'll never combine them if I don't know.
Okay, only combine multiple lookalikes and multiple interest. Never combine the two. So I'm assuming you never put like retargeting in the same campaign as an interest one or a lookalike or anything like that, right?
Never.
Okay. Okay, so these are exactly the same thing here, but one is excluding the visitors and purchases in the last 30 days, and then one isn't. The reason I normally would think to have them on there and exclude the visitors and purchases for the last 30 days and just go after the visitors with retargeting. But this showed me that the conversion, you know, that little conversion bar, it basically said conversions are going to be amazing. And this one said conversions are going to look terrible. And so that's why I decided to run both I don't really want to be in front of my previous purchasers. Some of them aren't that happy too. So, you know, I definitely want to do retargeting, but I don't want this really to be in front of. But what are your thoughts? And this sold at like $2, including the purchasers and visitors at first, but then this one caught back up today. Do you have a rule of thumb when it comes to excluding?
Excluding purchases is good. And excluding the audience you use to create is good as well. That'll prevent it from really showing up in your lookalike.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. So excluding the custom audience, you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if this isn't, oh, like for ad payment info, would you actually exclude, I don't even, that's not really even a custom audience unless I go make it, huh?
Right.
So would you recommend going and making an ad payment info audience and then subtracting it?
Yeah.
So is that just so you can retarget them, or what is the main purpose of that?
Yeah, that just improves your retargeting. And because it's like you're going after new customers in this, so I mean, like you have a retargeting for a reason. So there's no need to have it in here either.
Gotcha. Okay, so would you also go after like, wait, wouldn't they all fall under website visitors though?
Yeah, but that's going to get too big of an audience. You don't, because like imagine you scaling to like 400 daily, and if your click-throughs are at like 4% like they are here, you're going to have a huge website visitor audience, and it's eventually going to start eating into your lookalike size. And then now you're like, you know, might be reaching only new people, but the problem is you're going to start running out of them way sooner because you have so many people going to your site.
Gotcha. Okay, so you would exclude, so do you think that I should turn off the one that is including website visitors and purchases, this one?
No, I don't do anything to it. I won't turn off anything here. This is 3.82. Leave it alone for a few days. Give it 7 days.
So even though these are identical, it's literally the same 1%.
Yep, leave it for 7 days, and eventually it'll become a detriment after 7 days because they're both the same. And then eventually you'll just turn one off and you'll move the budget into the other.
Okay, so as a rule of thumb for all the rest of these, so I should exclude the purchasers for the last 30 days, and then also like this one, should I do website visitors for the last 30 days since this is built off of the website visitors?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, and then for say like initiate checkout, I would do the last 30, I would exclude last 30 days of purchasers and then last 30 days of initiate checkout.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, so you wouldn't worry about excluding anything else outside of that.
Yep, that's correct. On all of those.
Okay. Look.
And then I do have to drop in 10 minutes as well.
No problem. Purchasers and the last 30 days. Wait, so on the rest of these, you don't want me to exclude the last 30 days worth of visitors?
Don't worry about it if it's running now.
Well, I haven't turned any of these on yet.
Oh, okay, then yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so one more time. As far as on the visitors, or excluding them or not, just overall on the visitors part of it.
Only exclude the audience you use to create it and the purchases. So only 2.
Okay, so you're okay if this shows to some of my previous website visitors.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do the last 30 days of purchasers and the last 30 days of that custom audience. I can spell exclude last 30 days of add to cart. Okay, so you think it's okay for me to make that tweak in all these and then just turn these on with the same ad since they're all different audiences and just see what happens for 48 hours at $10?
Yep, that's 100% correct.
Okay. And then the ones that don't perform well in 48 hours, turn them off. The ones that do, double it to 20.
You're going to move your budget after 7 days.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
You're cutting early, but you're not moving budget until later.
Okay, so cut, that should be 48 hours?
Yeah, if you go through, it'll talk about that portion. 4 days, really 7 days is about cutting. But I mean, like realistically here, if you're getting purchases within the same day you're launching, then 48 hours is well within your time frame to be able to be cutting.
Gotcha. Okay. So that means if I let it run for 20 bucks and it doesn't get any purchase, you'd be okay with me turning it off?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hours, double.
Yeah, definitely turn off. You'd be better going to a casino and putting 20 bucks in a, and winning more money than that.
Would you do it at a lower rate than that? Because it's going to spend 10 bucks a day on these. So, or would you just
No,
wait
I
48 hours?
just use that number. Like the 20 is perfect.
Okay, cool.
You didn't spend 20 in this other one and you got a purchase. So why would you do it in why would you do it in others?
That are performing. And so if I have an ad that seems to be performing on almost any ad set that I put it on, would you just use that in all these compared to like,
Always.
okay, compared to like testing out another 3 ads just to see curiosity?
If you have something that's working, forget the testing and just roll with the winner.
Okay, cool. Okay, so if I'm using 2 different pixels, I should just exclude the people from those pixels, right? Like this is my friend's pixel and I'm gonna do the same exact thing. So I should just exclude the initiate for this lookalike for initiate checkout, just the last 30 days and purchasers from that pixel, right? For initiate checkout and purchases. Well, oh, it should be my purchasers too, because I'm not trying to retarget my own customers at the same time.
Say that again.
For sure. So this is a different person's pixel, my friend that used to sell these but doesn't anymore. He shared it with me. So if I'm targeting his previous customer, or not his, targeting the audience in his pixel and making lookalikes out of them, should I just exclude, it would be their purchasers last 30 days?
No, you don't have to worry about that. Because those aren't your purchases. So
they
that's
bought the
fine.
same exact thing. It was literally the same exact fitness tracker is the thing.
Oh. Okay, then yeah, you can.
It was an identical product. And then so just both purchases and then just last 30 days of initiate checkout, but just for them, right? Or should I do my own as well?
Yeah. I guess in that case you can do both.
Okay, for the initiate checkout too?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Sweet. I think that's just about it. You have like 2 minutes on her, not even.
Yeah. If one thing I would add is if you haven't signed up for the calls, you can on the Q&A page. So that's one way. And then that way we can have more calls moving forward.
Totally.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, you're got some ads that already look like they're working as well as some ad sets. So, and you already built out a lot of audiences. So just do those things we were talking about and then, flick those on, let them run for 48 hours, turn them off if they don't work. If they are working, let them run for 7 days. And then you'll be good to go.
Sweet. And then for retargeting, do you just do 30 days or just 60 days? Or do you, I have a friend that does like 1 to 7, 7 to 14.
Oh, you could test so many different, there's so many you could test.
So both approach work. It's just trying both and seeing what works better for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Once you find something that's working, I just stick to that though.
Cool. One more question. Whenever I have an ad set that seems to work great, like I've tried going from, $20 a day to like 200 or 300 a day and they tank every time. Is
don't do that.
Not to do that?
No, that's too fast. Don't do it that way.
Just because you don't know where the ceiling is at that point as far as.
Yeah, you can only do that if you had 50 purchases within 7 days.
Got it. And then, okay. I probably won't get that. So it's, cool. I think that answered all my questions for now. So I'm going to keep going through the course and then I'm going to try to jump on that call hopefully next Monday. I'm going to try to be on as many as I can. Do you just ask the questions? Like, do you just have a queue or something when it comes to the questions?
Yep, exactly. You'll be able to enter in your question. I explain how it works every beginning of the call, so no worries.
Perfect. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Chase.
Cool. Awesome, Dominic. I appreciate it. Talk soon. Bye.